Welcome to the WCG for match 10 of the 2020 Australian ADT20 Big Bash, which sees the six offenders taking on the men in purple 60 grit to see who will finish at the top of Group B. Both sides have already qualified for the quarterfinals after easily accounting for the WCG Babes in their opening matches, and now these two will battle it out to see who will finish at the summit of Group B. So as we can see, 60 grit are currently at the top of the table after their bonus point win against the WCG Babes, but that won't faze the second place six offenders, who know that a victory in this contest will see them leapfrog the men in purple into top spot. So as we take a look at a key player from each side for this contest, for the men in yellow it is the skipper Daniel Hancock, who blasted just 24 of 6 deliveries in their opening contest against the Babes, and will likely be looked upon again to get the bulk of the runs for the men in yellow. And for 60 grit, it is their skipper too, Mark Pasterfield, who his side will be looking towards for an inspired captain's effort, blasted 24 of just 10 deliveries against the WCG Babes to get his side home with a bonus point, but his objective in this contest is to keep his side top of the pops. 60 grit have won the toss and they've elected to bowl first. So it will be Nathan Hancock, the former skipper, who will get this innings underway for the men in yellow. Did not feature with the bat in their opening contest against the WCG Babes, so this is his first hit of the tournament. Top spot up for grabs in Group B. It'll be Clinton Cowan bowling around the wicket to Nathan Hancock. In now, and he starts with a full delivery, but this one drifts down the leg side and has been called a wide. So a wayward start there for the 60 grit. In the last two editions, no team has given away more sundries than the men in purple, so it's something they need to rectify. As Cowan will continue to Hancock in the opening over. This one's a full delivery and it strikes Hancock on the body, and he's going to move through for a leg bye. So a better delivery there from Cowan. The youngster is quick enough to move through for a leg bye. Cowan to continue to Hancock around the wicket. Here is in now. This one's a wider delivery and it's hit towards Mendham there on the offside, who has stopped the boundary, but I think this might have been a sharp chance here for Mendham. Yeah, it was. He got a boot to it, but couldn't hold on. A let off there for Hancock, as Cowan will continue in the opening over. This one's a good length delivery, and he gets in behind it. There's the youngster, and I think this is going to be another leg bye, as he catches the 60 grit skipper off guard again. So this hasn't been a bad opening over here for 60 grit, with just one ball remaining. Six offenders, no wicket for 3. Nathan, we know, likes to build into his innings, as Cowan is in for the final ball of the over, and this one's a wayward delivery down the leg side to end with. It'll be Chris Mendham to bowl the second over of the innings. He too will go around the wicket here to Nathan Hancock, and it's a full delivery, and it hits Nathan Hancock on the boot, and he moves through for another leg bye. You just wonder how long the six offender skipper is going to let this go for. Hancock yet to score a run off the bat in this match, as Mendham will continue to him now, and it's a big swing and a miss. So he's getting frustrated here as the youngster. Here, this is good here from 60 grit. No wicket for 5 into the second over, so they'll be pretty happy where things stand at the moment, as Mendham will come in for the final ball of the second over. He's in now, and this one's a back of a length delivery, and Hancock just drops that on the offside and will move through for a single, and a better throw there from Clinton Cowan might have had the youngster in trouble. Still a good result for the grit. And yeah, it looks like the skipper has had enough. He is going to retire his twin brother, who is not amused, as he just throws the bat to the ground, but the team comes first. The six offenders, no wicket for 6 after 2, and need to get a move on. So to be skipper v skipper, as Mark Pasterfield will bowl around the wicket here to Daniel Hancock, who advances and hits it straight at Clinton Cowan first delivery. You can hardly call that a chance, but it has definitely stopped the boundary, and it's another priceless dot for the men in purple. Pasterfield to continue to Hancock. In now, and this one's a back of a length delivery, and Daniel Hancock sways back and hammers this through the offside for their first boundary of the innings. Much needed boundary for the men in yellow. Skipper's away. Pasterfield to continue around the wicket here to his opposition skipper. As in now, Hancock's down the wicket, and he flicks this on the leg side for a maximum. The skipper has come out all guns blazing as he races to 10. Pasterfield to continue in the third over. As in now, Hancock is down the track again, but this time it's a plain miss here from the six offender skipper. A good reply there from Pasterfield. It's a good cherry. Pasterfield in for the final ball of the third over. As he's in now, and he's dug this one in short, and Daniel Hancock has hammered this on the leg side for another boundary. 14 off the Pasterfield over. It's a much needed one for the men in yellow. So the six offender skipper appears to be carrying the form he showed against the WCG Babes in their opening contest. He has raced a 14 not out. The six offenders no wicket for 20 as we enter this last over. Can 60 Grit restrict the men in yellow? Or can the six offender skipper lift his side above the 30 mark? Going to be Chris Mendham to bowl the final over of the innings. And he's in now around the wicket to Hancock, and it's a full toss, and he gets it away to the boundary, does the youngster. The six offender skipper is in fantastic nick as he races to 18. Mendham to continue to Hancock in the final over. As he's in now, this one's a full toss, and it's hit back towards him, and he can't make the stop of his own bowling. So it's another boundary for the six offender skipper. He moves into the 20s, 29 without loss. Mendham to continue to Hancock in the final over, and this one's a good length delivery, but it slides down the leg side and will have to be re-bowled. So it's just gone a bit pear-shaped here for 60 Grit in the past 8 deliveries or so. As Mendham will continue around the wicket to Hancock. As in now, and Hancock advances down the wicket and hammers him through the onside for another boundary. The six offender skipper is on fire here in match 10. No wicket for 34 with a ball to go. So the final ball of the innings. Mendham to Hancock around the wicket. As he's in now, and he serves up another full toss, and Hancock turns this away on the leg side to end with a boundary. The skipper finishes 30 not out, and it's 39 to get for the men in purple. So another blistering innings from the six offender skipper has lifted his side to no wicket for 38 after their 20 deliveries, and they have set the men in purple a stern test. The decision to retire his twin brother has definitely paid dividends, as the six offender skipper now moves to the top of the run scoring charts. It's 39 to get for the men in purple to top the group. So it will be the 60 Grit skipper Mark Pasterfield who will get this run chase underway. Remained undefeated with the blade against the WCG Babes to get his side home with a bonus point. Can he replicate that effort in this one? So it's 39 to get for the men in purple. It'll be Brett Hancock bowling around the wicket to Mark Pasterfield. As in now, this one's a full wide delivery, and Pasterfield hammers this through the offside for a boundary to get his side underway in this run chase. No wicket for 4. Brett Hancock to continue to Pasterfield around the wicket. As he's in now, and this one's a full delivery on leg stump, and it's hit towards Nathan Hancock there at mid-wicket, who makes a smart stop down to his right. So you think this would be the over where Pasterfield would look to cash in, as Hancock will continue to now round the wicket, and he backs away again, and this one strikes him on the body. So he's denied himself an extra there, has Pasterfield. It's a priceless dot for the men in yellow. Hancock to continue to Pasterfield in the opening over. As in now, this one's a good length delivery, and Pasterfield backs away again and has another air swing as Hancock picks up a wicket in the opening over. Pasterfield clean bowled for 4. 60 Grit 1 for 4 in the opening over, as that wicket now brings Clinton Cowan to the crease at number 2 for the men in purple. Didn't feature with the bat in their opening match against the WCG Babes, so this is his first hit of the tournament. 35 required off 16 deliveries, as Hancock is in around the wicket to Cowan for his first delivery, and it's a full delivery which slides down the leg side. Be called a wide. It'll be the skipper Daniel Hancock to bowl the second over of the innings, as he's in now to Cowan, and he begins with an absolute beauty. That's a gem that beats Cowan outside the off stump. Oh, good luck playing that. Hancock to continue to Cowan in the second over. As he's in now, and this one's a good length delivery, and it hits Cowan on the body. He's going to sneak through for a leg bye, and it's well fielded there by the old timer Brett Hancock, moving like a sprightly 16-year-old once again. It was a brilliant pick-up, turn and throw, but Cowan survives. Hancock to continue to Cowan in the second over. As in now, and this one's another full delivery outside the off stump, and it's another swing and a miss there from Cowan. So the pressure mounts here for the men in purple. 32 required off 11 deliveries here for 60 Grit to top Group B. So they're going to have to start finding the boundary pretty regularly, as Hancock is in for the final ball of the over, and this one's a good length delivery, and there's one of them, as Cowan slaps this down the ground for his first boundary of the innings. He moves to 5. 60 Grit 1 for 11. So although that was a boundary to end the over, it'll be the six offenders who will be the happier of the two sides as it stands. 60 Grit required 28 off 10 deliveries. If they're going to keep hold of top spot here in Group B, they're going to have to start finding the boundary pretty regularly here, the men in purple, or the six offenders will leapfrog them to finish top of the pile. So it'll be Nathan Hancock to bowl the third over of the innings. It's in now over the wicket to Cowan. It's a full delivery as Cowan clips it off his toes, but it's well fielded there by the old timer Brett Hancock. So a priceless stop for the six offenders to begin the over, as Hancock will continue to Cowan. This one's a shorter delivery, and Cowan lets this hit him on the body. So that's another priceless dot, and the task gets even greater for the men in purple. 28 required off 8 deliveries, as Hancock is in again now to Cowan. It's clipped away on the leg side, and this time it beats Brett Hancock there at mid-wicket for a boundary. Well, it looks like this was a chance here for the old timer, and the chance goes begging. 23 required of 6 deliveries, as Hancock will continue to Cowan. This one's a slower ball, and he's hit it on the offside. He's going to go for a single, and he's been run out. The skipper throws down the stumps, and there seems to be a bit of confusion here. There has been a no ball given, but you can be run out on a no ball, and Cowan goes. So it's Chris Mendham, the last hope for 60 grit, to make his way to the crease. His side required 22 from this final over. Can the great man pull off a miracle to keep his side top of the table? It'll be the skipper, Daniel Hancock, to bowl the final over of the innings. As he's in now, and this one's a back of a leg delivery. Mendham hits it straight to Hancock. Oh, and that was the chance to end it, as Brett Hancock had all 3 stumps to aim at. Mendham sets off for a suicidal single, and the chance goes begging. 21 required from 4 deliveries, as Hancock is into Mendham once again, and this one's hit back to Hancock for no run. So it looks like the 6 offenders are going to top Group A and avoid 2 inches short of a length in the quarterfinals, as Hancock is in once again to Mendham, and it's a full toss, and he's hammered this out of the WCG. So the match is over, and it's a resounding victory for the 6 offenders. So the 6 offenders get the chocolates in this top of the table decider here in Group B, as they have beaten 60 grit by 20 runs here in match 10 to finish with a 100% record in Group B. A brilliant innings by the skipper Daniel Hancock was the difference in this match, as the men in purple must dust themselves off as they have a big task on their hands in the quarterfinals. So as we take a look at the final standings here in Group B, it is the 6 offenders who leapfrogged 60 grit into that top position after their resounding victory here in match 10, and they will take on the saggy greens in the second quarterfinal. The men in purple will have to settle for second spot and prepare for 2 inches short of a length in the quarterfinals, and it's the WCG Babes who finish bottom of the pile. So as we look ahead to the next match of the tournament, it's a must-win match for the debutants Smack My Pitch up in match 11, as they take on the 2-time champions How's That to finish up in Group C. With How's That and Wet Up's superior net run rate, it looks like only a bonus point win will do for the men in orange.